Is there a problem with the European Green Deal? And can we fix it? For more than 5 years, the EU has pursued a highly ambitious agenda on decarbonization and slashing dirty emissions. It's clear we need to tackle climate change. However, Europe's climate agenda risks causing double damage for our economic bloc. We're facing low economic growth and a worsening outlook for European companies, and we're not going to achieve actual progress on decarbonization if we keep on the same road. Let's start with the money. How much does the Green Deal actually cost for our taxpayers? The climate agenda has dominated the European budget over the last 10 years, with around 400 billion euros spent on decarbonization in 2022, roughly 2.5% of our GDP. This means that we're spending more money on climate than on our common European defense. And current reporting shows that even this massive amount is still not enough. According to the European Commission, we need an extra 600 billion euros per year to reach the 2030 climate targets. This means Europe will need to spend around 4 trillion euros in the next 6 years. The truth is, simply we don't have the money available. COVID, the war in Ukraine, soaring inflation, all of this has exhausted national budgets. But wait, you might be asking, isn't that climate spending justified? Well, it's not that simple. The EU is responsible for around 7% of global CO2 emissions, way behind the biggest global polluters like China, the US or India. And even though we see progress on solar panels, electric vehicles and renewables, the inconvenient truth is that the world continues running on dirty fossil fuels. Last year, the world met 82% of its total energy needs with polluting fossil fuels like oil and gas, and only 8% of the global total came from renewables. This is also why in 2023, global CO2 emissions are going up more than 2%. Even though you see so many climate pledges by companies and countries in the media, we are collectively failing. A great example is China. They're making good progress on installing solar and wind power, switching to EVs, but don't fall for their greenwashing. 60% of energy usage in China still comes from dirty coal, and they continue opening new coal power plants. How about Europe and our own track record on renewables? We're making slow but steady progress and increasing the overall share of renewable energy. However, most of the progress comes from countries such as Sweden, Finland, while the other member states struggle with investment, permitting schemes and labor force shortages. All while companies and households in the EU continue to struggle with high energy prices for electricity and gas. This is a major handicap for our global competitiveness. High emission reduction targets, high energy prices, combined with very strict regulation on climate in an aging society means that Europe is simply losing out. European companies are not making money from the clean energy transition, and we already see signs of deindustrialization with major industries cutting operations in our continent and considering relocating elsewhere. There needs to be a better way. Europe deserves a better deal on climate and competitiveness. Achieving carbon neutrality should remain the long-term goal, but the European Commission must review the burdensome climate regulations. Europe needs to be smarter, also with its money. We must ensure that progress on climate also means economic growth and global competitiveness. We need to protect and support our European businesses so they can profit from the transition and supply the rest of the world with high-quality clean tech. To find out more on what is wrong with the European Green Deal and how to improve it, take a look at our new Martin Center brief, A Better Deal for Climate and European Competitiveness.